All right, hello everyone, and we are back again with OSU Philippines Nationals 2025 for Mania. So we are closing off the rest of the round of 16 matches. So today we have Plana versus Paracosm, Seed 4 versus Seed 13. The other stream, which is going to be Unitori versus J 1002, is going to be on our on the Philippines National stream on the second one. So stay tuned for that as well. If you do wish to follow it, I will be keeping score updates at the halfway intermission. So for now, kick back and enjoy. Commentator booth as the last match. It is going to be Nightcore. Joining me is going to be Laser again. How have you been doing?
Yep, I've been doing well during the break. So both players, right? I'm sure that a good amount of people in the Filipino community knows at least both of them because they've been they've been in the community for quite some time. They've been active in terms of being a player in nationals, and maybe this is not even their first time meeting each other. So uh, let's hope that they face each other in a I hope that this matchup is going to be very close because let's just say the previous matchups have been a lot of them have been sweeps, unfortunately.
Yeah, you were right, but that does kind of happen in stuff when it is on the earlier rounds. But
Hmm.
in fairness, some of the scores are very close. As we
Yeah,
seen from the last match where we had Forken versus Branya, like although it was a clean sweep, a lot of the scores were only around a 2,000 point difference. So maybe the same thing could be said for this matchup as well. So we're just gonna have to see.
yeah. Uh, so we're going to be seeing uh, Plana protecting seems like LN2 with uh, parac0sm protecting LN. I mean, I Rice 3. Sorry. So we got the protects out of the way.
So and coordination protected by Plana. Um, Stamina protected by Paracosm is going to be technical banned by Paracosm as well. Ellen Tech, Ellen Free. Not ideally too surprised about that. I think Ellen One could have been also an alternative as well, but again, Ellen Free isn't too bad. For Plana, maybe just following same suit from um the Rice Protect. Maybe a Rice ban as well from Plana might not be too bad of an idea. Especially kind of looking at the stats. Well, we know that Plana is an Ellen powerhouse, seeding first in actually quite a few things. Hybrid 1 and LN2.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um,
good. These numbers are pretty good. Like, both LN and hybrid. Like, a little bit behind on the Rice, but they can handle it. And I'm sure that um, they also know that parac0sm is also like can play Rice. There's also an outside chance that parac0sm could be good at hybrid as well.
I don't know if I would risk hybrid.
Yeah,
That's my
it's just
only
tough.
query.
Yeah, it's an outside chance. It's kind of
And actually, as a start, Planet does go for the hybrid 2 pick. So hybrid 2, I do believe, is going to be more of our it's going to be Jack oriented. So we're going to see a couple of shields, a couple of just Jacks in general. Kind of, if you can keep up with the BPM, I think you should be okay. Also, Paracosm does go for the Rice. I know Planet does go for the Rice 5 ban. Pretty tough map, especially that is mixed rice. But here we are jumping into this at 154 BPM and 1 minute 35 drain time. It is not a map that you do not want to break your combo on.
not only that, not just combo, like accuracy in general. I mean, uh, any mistake in a map this short is could be a huge difference. And you can see also the OD. I mean, I'm sure that ratio is going to be more of the focus. In case if we see 300s, well, that OD is a bit. It's easier for you to get a 300 than to get a 200.
Easily. And especially now that this is at round of 16, we can only see the timings get stricter when we do up the difficulty in the later rounds. And now both players have been ready, and we can kick off our first map of this match.
Kicking off, you can see that sneaky stream at the start, but looks like both players hit it pretty well. Accuracy's pretty similar at the very beginning here. I'm sure that it will equalize at some point. parac0sm a little bit late, which brings his accuracy down by quite a bit. But Plana has been going down as well in the accuracy, a bit late as well. parac0sm, this dense part just caught him off guard, and he gets not only a drop but also it's not a very clean miss. The accuracy dropped significantly here.
Planet will have to keep their combo consistent at this point if they do want to be taking their point home. But even then, now we still have the halfway point, which stuff will only be taking a turn for the tougher, pretty much, as we do kind of get back into it with some of those shields that Planet does drop on. But that was more of a clean drop, actually. So the score might flicker back a small bit, but once we get in here, as long as Planet doesn't really find any more drops, I think the score should be stabilized. I think the score difference should be a bit more stabilized. As we do get into the back half, again, we're seeing a bit more of those mini jacks accompanied by some of those rolls as well. Both players actually kind of holding on pretty well. But now when we throw Ellen into the mix, I think both players aren't really too phased by this. And that will just be the outro of the map. Even a break at this point, even though parac0sm does find the break, as I do say it, it is not really going to be bulging the score at all.
Yeah, I can see parac0sm a bit lagging behind in terms of the accuracy in general. Really, ratio judgments has been falling back, but Plana holding on to a 99.65. It's just that the miss was there. Could be a 99.990k if they didn't miss.
Yeah, it's a very impressive performance by both players. Well, a good start to kick off this match. So, again, that is the first pick. We still have plenty more to come, a potential 8 other maps. So we will see now. parac0sm's world is their oyster right now. They will be going on to their next pick. I would not be surprised if it was Rice. Maybe kind of
Yeah.
just start up for Rice 3 to protect. Maybe something like Rice 2. But no, it's going to be Rice 1. It's going to be the stream pick.
Yeah. parac0sm banking on the streams. Just like the previous map, short. Any mistakes is pretty bad. So, and because this is speed, obviously, there's gonna be more 200s involved. Maybe a miss would be there, but it's gonna be more focused on, like, let's say, general accuracy rather than ratio.
You just need to be pretty much comfortable with 308 BPM streams. Because, well, we have seen it from previous matches that people weren't really too comfortable with the streams. They started hitting a bit late, and that turned into severe misjudgments that did cost them the match. But we will see how this will work.
Both players taking a bit to ready up, but if you're wondering what's happening in the previous match, they just picked what was that map again? It's called Rave Beat.
Rave Beat is... Would that not be LN3?
Yes, it is. LN2, actually.
Oh yeah, LN2. I know LN1 Zigaku. Because the
Yeah.
title map.
Yeah. So here we go. We're gonna start off with this map. Starting off with these easy chords with a couple of these stairs that could come up all of a sudden, but it's not too hard.
So yeah, starting off with the jumps, of course, as you said, there's going to be a natural decrease when we do get into the Ki, unless you can V2 double that, unless you can just 1 mil the stream.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like it. To be fair, like it would be near impossible to do that. Well, at this rate. But yeah, we get the natural decrease. Score's still flickering around the 3-digit range. And as we do get into this, it's going to be your pretty much pure stream. The accuracy is very tight right now. 300s being given out left, right, and center. It's just who can really control that MA and minimize their 200 count as well and keep their combo. So we do get, so for most of the map, again, we do get a small break in the middle just for our final area, and wow, this could actually be very close, just judging off by this performance.
It's very close. I mean, look at these accuracies. I mean, 99.75. Both actually were holding at the same time as I speak. Like, it's actually pretty surprising. We could be seeing like, a very close match here.
And here we are, the hand stream. Planet actually capitalizes off that and gains a small bit more, which will give them the advantage later on. But heading back to the streams again, the last 100k of the map, I think parac0sm might have dropped a few more 200 for liking, but it's starting to flicker a bit more. 99.73, 99.72. It looks like, oh my god, a 423 point difference. Oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like it's the 200s. The difference between, both players right now.
Planet actually whiffed a better ratio despite the worst PA. Actually, which does give him the point. See, you do have to keep control of that MA as well. And I think the hand stream section might have done it for them.
Yeah. You can see 229 is pretty good. And then you see a 226 like with like better PA. It's pretty impressive scores by both players, honestly. And we're gonna see a pick by Plana, LN1.
Okay, Igaku. Coordination and a bit of technical, actually. Which, I guess it does have somewhat similarities with LN3.
Yeah, it's I think it's just obviously this is a very short map, 1 minute 38. You're gonna be seeing a lot of short maps in these early stages, but for LN, right? It's LN is already like, I mean, this is a coordination pick, so I'm sure that accuracy wise this is easier. That's for sure.
Well, that'll mostly be in the density, I would say, as releases aren't as heavy in that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I think definitely, if you can keep your, I think a parac0sm just kind of keeps on to their combo a bit and still has pretty decent accuracy by the end of this. I think they might have a chance of taking that breakpoint. And I would say a breakpoint is really needed for parac0sm at this point. Being down a breakpoint is not an ideal situation you want to be in.
If Planet wins this map, it would be the 3rd point in a row.
Yeah, and it will be.
Needs
nice.
2 more to win.
Would be correct.
Because I'm not starting off strong here. In fact, that's not a very good start. Miss with a lot of accuracy problems right now. Kind of holding on to a 99.75, but the lead is already pretty big.
Yeah, losing that full combo is not really going to be benefiting them at all, even being down a whole percentage compared to Plana. But when we get into the Ki, things could potentially change. And here we go, getting the build up with all those hands on those different coordination, on those different snappings. And here we are, getting into more of the density, very minimal gaps. And as we do get into the burst, which is right here, get that mini broken jump stream section. And pretty much after that, if you can hit this section, you should be pretty good for the rest of the map. But it's really just the other unexpected stuff, such as the intro.
You can see a little bit of a shields coming in, some that you have to take into account. And here we go, we're in the easier part of this chart, which, still has a little bit of inverse in there, but yeah.
Yeah, especially at 204 BPM, it's not really too ideal. parac0sm does find that additional miss, At this point, the score difference, I would say, is too good for that catch-up, especially just not even being able to get to that 400 combo range, which
Yeah.
I just think, even without the misses, I think it still would have went to Plana. Just definitely having a lot more comfortable room. Even getting that 990 as well, definitely hard to kind of replicate a score like that, I would say.
Yeah. No meteor to, you know, plan this comeback. It looks like parac0sm uh takes the loss here for this map, and Planet takes third map of the map in a row with a really good score, especially since this is like coordination.
Okay, but now the pick is in parac0sm's hands. Um, I would probably say maybe going for Protect or even Rise 2 would be probably the best run map at this point. Maybe try to tire out Plana a small bit, as definitely parac0sm can keep up with the Rise.
Yeah. Parac0sm is going to have to pick Rice. You can't pick any other skill set in good faith, honestly.
Yeah, maybe even trying to get away with a point on Wormrave could be a potential option. But no, jumping straight into their Protect, Xenon, also known as World Sound.
Hmm.
And let me tell you, this map is very, very brutal. We have seen it from last time that a lot of players do get that wear on from that ending. It is just going to be 3 minutes of pure jump stream.
One of the few maps in the map pool that isn't under 2 minutes long. So probably doing the same thing as last time. They're probably trying to tire the other player out.
Yeah, I would probably say that as well. It's probably why you see a lot of the Rise picks being picked later, or even then just the long maps. Being the longest map by a pretty significant margin, I do believe, being around 30-40 seconds longer, that excluding the tiebreaker, than the next longest map. So misses won't be as punishing in this map. But just judging off the consistency by these two players, it might be more of a significant factor. But
Hmm.
now everyone is readying up, and are going to be kicking off.
And here we go. We're already seeing the action very quickly here. With you can see the appetizer, as he called it last time. You can see how it will look like when the drop comes in. The key eye, actually.
Gotta love the appetizer.
Yeah.
So this is
Uh,
just non-stop.
yeah. Just warms you up a little bit before the break and the build up comes in.
You definitely have an emphasis on two-hand jumps, especially in the middle. Which, well, parac0sm actually does have the accuracy advantage as well. By, well, I would say by a somewhat decent amount. But we still have that 3-digit score difference, so a few 300s could just send it back the other way. But now here we are into the Ki. It's not going to be the first Ki this map like normal. It's jumping straight into the second Ki as you would see in the full drop of the full song. And definitely having a lot more emphasis on those trills. Alternating between each hand and some of those middle jumps as well can definitely throw a couple of players off. But Planet actually finding a 200 there as well. Kind of got to watch out on some of those trills. But just right now, none of these players are slipping through any of the cracks.
Yeah. Apart from like a couple 200s by Plana, I mean, this is really close. Like MA wise, I'm sure it's like like by like a couple 300s. So the fact that the fact that parac0sm can keep up to Plana in terms of Rice is very impressive. This is a seed 4, and he's like he's giving Plana a run for their money in terms of the Rice act.
Yeah, pretty much. But we still have the final third of the map, which, again, you do get no breaks. So even then, it's just going to be who has the better endurance and the better stamina. And here we go. Does get a bit lighter. Gonna be seeing what you have seen from the intro of the map. Plana
Ooh,
finds a drop as well. That is gonna be detrimental, despite it being a clean drop as well. If it does get traded back, the score could still flicker over. But parac0sm really needs to keep onto this combo now if they want any chance of snagging this point.
yeah, the earlier the miss, the better for Plana, but uh, as time goes on, the window of coming back is just not gonna happen. But parac0sm just missed just now. Will it be enough? It's
The
getting
score is
really
slowly
close.
flickering back. If parac0sm gets back to the
1,500.
400, if he gets back to the 400 combo count,
This is almost the end, and it's just not enough. I
that's
think
very unfortunate. But
Plana just missing at the middle of that, which is usually not a good place to miss when you're playing Score V2. And you can see the MA is just identical, like for both players. Probably like the 200 placement is different, and also the miss. The PA I meant, but the MA is you can see the difference.
yeah, very close scores. Around 90 difference in the 300 count, and
Mm.
pretty much just very good PA control overall. And
Yeah,
here we are. LN2 is going to be getting picked. So I do believe was this Planus Protect?
I guess so. Uh, looks like parac0sm, according to the chat, very happy that this is not a sweep. So if the
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that's what you don't want, right? I mean, against a seed 4 at least. I mean, you don't want to get swept.
yeah. Especially that parac0sm is putting up an extremely good fight.
Like the rice accuracy, parac0sm just blew Plana out of the water on the ratio part of the game.
But now we get into density. So this does kind of apply some of those rare skills into physicality as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how things actually turn out. It could be potentially parac0sm as well taking a point, as this does require, I would say, the least amount of LN fundamentals to kind of focus on compared to LN1 and LN3.
Yeah, it's probably like similar to how you play jump streams. You just hold the notes a little longer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because this is LN, some LN maps would reduce the OD quite a bit from the standard 8. So this one is a 7. So 200's a little bit, the judgment timing is a bit more lenient than usual.
Yeah, you would be right. It will only gradually increase though when we do get later into the tournament.
Yes. It's honestly more about the it's more about the endurance when it comes to holding accuracy into these early game maps. The later it goes, like it feels like your mind is just getting worn out there.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that does make sense.
If you're wondering what's happening in the other match, Unitori versus J1002, it's Unitori in favor with 3 points against J1002 with 1 point, actually. So it's not a sweep on the other side either.
So our final two matches are not going to be a sweep. Well, for 4 key anyways.
Yeah. Unitori with a very impressive score, if you want to see it there. 993 is very good.
Both players actually hitting only 300s at the start is very funny.
That's very funny. Yeah. So it
But
doesn't
here we
matter
go.
it doesn't matter in the if you look at it the big picture, but it's kind of funny that happened. But
Watch
yeah,
a
you can
difference come down to two
yeah
digits.
you can yeah that would be impressive. Like we already saw a very close map, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see the density already coming in, like ever since the beginning.
Definitely taking a bit. Definitely taking a bit of a spike up. And yeah, as I was saying, both players still holding on very pretty comfortable. That 99.75, 99.85 as well. Kind of stop and go with the jump stream inverse. But as we do get some trills introduced, we'll see how that does fare against the players. Like, I'm planning on keeping our consistency very well alongside parac0sm, but I think a few more 200s were dropped on the side of parac0sm. And you can see now that they're getting a bit more prone to 200 hits. I do believe Planet did drop enough for 200 there, but again, pretty much you just have to keep going this map. It's pretty much a final sprint at this point. Dropping down to 99.7 range as well, Planet does. But even a drop could just change anything. But parac0sm finds a few 200s for their unfortunate for their liking, which is only going to be shifting the score lead over towards Plana.
It was close by a couple thousand points, but it's adding a 1,000 point deficit, which is going to be a difference at this ending here. I mean, this is all about consistency now. I mean, any huge act drops and a miss could just swing the lead to the one side, and it looks like Plana will take it as parac0sm just misses at the end. With a 991 score, 99 case, Plana wins and
I
gets
like that
point number
background.
4. Yeah. uh,
Okay.
Plana with better MA and PA.
Yeah, despite the
Scored
misses,
great.
I don't. Despite the misses, I don't think parac0sm would have been able to swindle it back over. But
Back
now
up.
parac0sm has the world in their hands. Getting the potential last needs to pick wisely,
Mm.
as it could potentially be their last pick. And jumping into Rice 2, kind of following a similarity from Rice 3. So I would probably say this is going to be parac0sm's strongest pick that was available. So not really going
Mm.
for the more riskier Rice 4 pick, kind of keeping it a bit more simple. But as we knew from last time, parac0sm has taken a point on the jump stream pick, on the upper jump stream pick that focuses a bit more on stamina. So it's just going to be more now pure jump stream. Again, having that BPM at 220, but we're introducing some hands as well into the mix, and a lot denser jump stream. So we're going to have to see how both these players do fare.
Yeah, it's all about like if one player blinks or not in terms of the accuracy and consistency here, because this map is shorter, so you cannot afford an act drop or a miss, a substantial act drop. I mean, you can afford some, but not to the extent where you would be down a percent.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We're going to have to see how things do go. We just start off the intro with some like Korjak, as I would say. But here we go. Starting in, we do start to see some of those jump stream and hand stream bursts. Pretty minimal, but hopefully it shouldn't really make too much of a difference now that we are starting to kick into the main drop pretty soon. Again, as I do say, this is going to be the appetizer for what's yet to come.
Yeah, you can see that's the easy part. We're gonna be seeing the build up very soon, and now here's the key eye coming in. It's all jump stream and hand stream from now on.
Yep. It's pretty much continuous, continuous, continuous. Until you do get to the break-ins and very close. Actually, it's a matter of score's actually tied for temporarily. And actually, it's a fun fact now that we're through this break. Um, the match on the second stream, they are picking the same pick, and the scores are actually the same. Unitary being on 4, J1002 being on 1 point, and they are picking this map also.
Yeah. Coming back to the match right now, Plana with 0 point with a very like tiny lead, like 1,000 point lead. It's very close. If Planet drops to 200 now, the lead is coming back to parac0sm side a little bit at least, but this will take like even a couple 300s can make this a lot more closer, and it looks like it's just not enough for parac0sm to come back.
Wait. One?
Yeah,
300.
that's the
There one
difference.
300 difference.
That
Oh
is the
my god.
difference. Oh,
Imagine if that 200 wasn't there. It would have been between won 300 to settle it all. What an impressive
Yeah.
performance by both players. And again, well done. And well done to Planet as well for getting that 5-1 victory. Very impressive performance by both players. And a really good performance again.
Again, yeah.
So,
But like just a tiny difference. I mean, very impressive. But congratulations to Plana. He'll be uh, advancing to the winners bracket um, w- whilst parac0sm falls into the losers bracket. And I'm sure that a lot of opponents will be seeing those LN scores and will be planning around that one.
yep, you kind of have to keep that strategy consistent. So for Plana, they will be facing the winner of Unitory versus J10, and they're actually in the second KI now. It is Unitory having that 1,000 point lead, so we'll update you when that match is finished. As for now, it looks like a Paracosm going down into the losers bracket. Um, they actually are going to be facing the loser of that match.
Mhm.
So heading at so that's just so kind of looking at the intro of this map. It's only 1,000 points, for even a 3-digit point difference as well between. Actually, it's flickering. Wait, never mind. There was 200 by JFS and 2. So yeah, it looks like Unitory is going to be in the winners bracket and JFS in the 2 is going to be in the losers bracket facing Paracosm. So it will be Planet versus Unitory. So
Yes.
stay tuned for those matches next week. And that is going to conclude all our 4 key matches. I'm not too sure if there's going to be 7 key matches. I'm not too sure if there's any other 7 key matches.
There is one more, in fact.
Okay, there is one more.
It's gonna be uh in let's say 29 minutes from now. It's gonna be Uripe versus VRX.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, especially all you 7 key enthusiasts. So yeah, I guess we can pretty much sign out for here for all you 4 key players just waiting for the next map build showcase. That will be later. I'm not too sure when, but it will be announced. So
Mm.
stay tuned for that. And I guess we can close off for now. There's nothing really else we can say.
Yeah, just very close match in terms of the rice axe. And I guess that's it for us. Hopefully you do well today and stay tuned for the next match.
Yep. So that is gonna be it. So everyone again, thank you for coming. Thank you for co-casting with me as well, Laser. And just like that, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.